I always recommend that a mechanic check a used car out before you buy it, but you can't take every car in that you look at. So it's a good idea to use these tips that I'm going to show you today when you're out on the used car lot to kind of weed down the list a little bit. The first thing you want to look at when you're looking at a used car is the body. You can step back and look at the panels down the side of the car. Does the paint match? You can also see if there's any bubbles in the paint, which would indicate maybe a rust problem with the car. And around here, you really want to check for hail because we get a lot of hailstorms. You need to get down low, look across the panel, like the hood and the roof, and check for hail dents. You certainly don't want to buy a car only to find out later it's peppered with hail. And you can look under the hood next, and you shouldn't be too intimidated by looking under the hood. There's things you can check, like the oil level, the different fluids inside, and just take a general look inside to see if there's any loose wires. Are there any bolts that are hanging out that aren't tightened? That would indicate maybe there's been a problem with this vehicle. You can also check underneath the car, bring a flashlight with you, get underneath and look for leaks. There could be fluid leaks underneath the car, there could be panels hanging down. Both of those things would indicate maybe a potential problem and some money out of your pocket down the road. Next, check the tires. You can see if there's very much tread left on your tires by using a quarter. Put the quarter upside down between the tread, and if you can see the top of Washington's head, the tires have a balding issue. Believe me, I can relate to that issue. Also, you need to check the tread to see if it's wearing evenly across the tire. If it isn't, there could be some serious alignment or suspension problems with the car. Now we're ready for a test drive, but before you leave on the test drive, you want to make sure some of the power accessories, like the windows, work, because they can cost hundreds of dollars to repair. Also, shut off the radio before you leave. You want it nice and quiet. You don't want to mistake that thumping noise on the radio with one of the wheels coming off during the test drive. Now we're ready to go. We'll get buckled up and head out. And as we're driving, you want to pay attention and listen for any noises on the vehicle that might indicate a problem. You also need to check all of your gauges on the vehicle to make sure everything is where it should be. Drive it in town and on the interstate, and if you're comfortable at that point that the car is driving like it should, then you can go ahead and spend the money, get the car checked out, and hopefully it's a good used car for you. For Channel 6 News, I'm Jim Champion, the Auto Guy.